Hello everybody, it is April 30th, 2022. Sorry about the lack of video yesterday. I'm going to do a makeup video here now. I had a busy day yesterday. So anyway, let's take a look at Bitcoin. First, what I said on Monday was that basically more chop was to be expected. We may get a bump up into the 43 to 44.5K area, but regardless of what the short term does, the mid to long term still says that sub 33K is the next major stop, as long as we're below 48.2. And that's pretty much all I had to say. There wasn't too much of an immediate setup either way for the short term. Nothing was high probability in the short term. So let's go over and see what we've done the rest of the week, which was pretty much a bunch of nothing. We saw Bitcoin move up to a high of 40.4, give or take, and then get rejected and come back down to about 38.1. This still really doesn't tell us anything yet. It certainly looks like it wants to break and continue going downwards, but we don't have that fully proven yet, basically. So it is still certainly possible that this is A, B, and we're making a C wave up, or a Y wave up maybe as a WXY. This could be A, B, C as part of a Y wave. There are lots and lots of possibilities here. It's always possible as well that we're still making this, which means we got to move up to that 44 to 45.5 area, or sorry, 43 to 44.5 area, somewhere in that northern region there. Once again, I have nothing high probability for the short term, so I need to rely on the larger term chart, and that still says we need a lower low. We need to get below this low back here of 32.8K. And that is the next logical step. So essentially, I've got multiple different options. All of them point to under 33K. We can go there directly. We can bounce a little bit and then go there. We can bounce a lot and then go there. Essentially, that is the update for today. We don't know which one of those is going to play out. My suspicion is that it's wanting to drop more directly. I mean, the pressure is certainly remaining downwards here, but it's also the weekend. Anything can happen, so I'm staying on my toes. I am short, happily, and I shorted from back here, basically, but I am prepared to add more. I'm prepared to add more shorts up in this area if it's necessary, which maybe it is, maybe it's not, but regardless, I'm prepared for the next drop. I think that's the most likely scenario. There really is not a good bullish scenario here. None of this is a bullish structure whatsoever off of this previous low, the 32.8K low. Absolute best case scenario, as I've gone over, is that this is 1, 2 and a diagonal, and this is all part of A, B, C of a wave 3. We are still above this high, so technically I suppose it's possible, but it's really not looking pretty. It's really come down even further than it should have anyway. This diagonal that it potentially is forming is now very shallow, which doesn't bode well for it being the primary scenario. So you can, I mean, it is a diagonal, but just barely. The next move would have to get it up here, and that would have to be considered part of a third wave. It really doesn't look like that. It really doesn't, with how shallow the pitch is on this diagonal. So anyway, not a high probability that the bulls are going to take over in the short term, or in the medium term. The short term, like I said, they could bounce up into this area still, but not expecting any great movements from the bulls. I think the next major stop is going to be sub 33K, and eventually this likely projects us down to right around here, 27 to 28.4 is what it looks like right now. So as this develops more, that may change, but that's the primary scenario we're in right now, which is the yellow. And I'm just going to move some of these numbers over because obviously we're still waiting for this to complete right now. Move this all over. Okay. So basically, if this yellow is correct, we're waiting still on yellow 2 to complete, which it may have done already. It may be waiting to do with a higher move and then dropping, but in either case, this is our 1, 2 here, or up a little higher than 3 down, which means a move down to 34K is going to be really likely if we break this low. I think that's pretty much the line in the sand now, 37.7. You know, we keep looking at these lows and looking at, you know, break of those lows to trigger the next move downwards, and it hasn't done so yet. And the only way that makes sense is if all of this has been corrective, right? This was a B wave here. This was a B wave here. This was the end of the first wave here. So it's certainly not an ideal structure for the bears, but next move, you know, assuming we break that low, if we get a sustained break of it, we should hit 34 to 35 before a little bounce, and then a push down to even as low as 30.7, so 31K area for the end of the third wave. Then a little more bounce, and then down to the 28K region to finally finish off this correction, and then the bulls have a chance to finally get their act together and push higher. But really don't see that happening until we get sub 33K. All right, I think that pretty much sums up what I'm looking at here. Definitely am not bullish right now. The only way the bulls can take over is getting above 42.8. Need to get above this high here. 42.9, 42.8, whatever that is. So 43K essentially. If the bulls get above that, there's a little chance that something else is going on, but it could also just be something completely different. It could be all part of this chop because this is all just range-bound crap right now. So expect lower levels. That's the most likely scenario for the medium term. Short term, we still don't know what's going to happen, but any pump is a short opportunity, especially a pump into this red box again here north of 41.9 to 44.5. But realistically, any pumping is a short opportunity. As we saw right here, this little pump was an opportunity to add to shorts. If it pumps again, opportunity to add to shorts. That's pretty much the name of the game right now. All right, everybody, that's all I've got to say. Check out the suggested video here and go ahead and hit subscribe and like for me. It does help me out if you appreciate the content. And I will touch base with you all on Monday to see what the weekend has brought. All right, take care.